Introduction. What victory over verbal abuse means. Victory over verbal abuse has been written to provide answers to many questions about verbal abuse, and in particular to support recovery from the impact of verbal abuse. To recover from verbal abuse, it is essential to know that healing is possible. This book is designed to assist you on your journey to recovery, clarity, and personal power. Abuse can begin any time, in infancy or in an adult relationship. It can be perpetrated by anyone who cannot tolerate your separateness and so attempts to shape you into his or her projected self, while ignoring your real self. Thousands of cases testify to the fact that while some perpetrators have consciously malevolent motives, many, even most, especially in personal relationships, are responding to inner agonies generated in their own childhoods. Seemingly, because of their illusions, these agonizing moments are happening to them all over again, or so they experience the relationship. Thus, they can become extremely toxic to their partners, even without yelling or physically assaulting anyone. They can be so psychologically dangerous to the person or persons they target that they can eventually destroy the other's perceptions so as to leave them debilitated, physically ill, even suicidal. Personal victory over verbal abuse can best be equated with healing that brings clarity and peace to body, mind, and soul. If you have experienced verbal abuse, you must know clearly that you are not responsible for anyone's abuse of you. You cannot make it happen to you. You may not be able to tell when it is happening to you. In a relationship, you know that the perpetrator is a separate person, but as strange as it seems, the perpetrator does not recognize you as a separate person. The perpetrator defines your inner world as if he or she were living within you. Your victory also means clarity about who you are, what you like, what brings you satisfaction, along with awareness of your talents and gifts. Your victory is the journey you take to create what you want in your life, a life that gives you meaning and purpose and is most fulfilling. Your victory is fully realized when any fears, self-doubts, and confusing perceptions disappear. As we collectively come to understand just what verbal abuse is and how it impacts humanity, we will have a healthier world. In this regard, victory over verbal abuse is extremely important to all who want to live in a world without war in any form, that is, people seeking power over other people. Achieving this can be one of our most important goals if we want to make it so. If we progress in achieving this victory, the dark cloud of verbal abuse will gradually dissipate in the light of awareness, just as the sun dispels the fog. This will make a difference in the lives of millions of people. For example, a dictator using verbally abusive and controlling behavior could not rise to power if most who witnessed verbal abuse recognized it for what it is. People who are verbally abusive use just plain senseless, JPS, negative statements that denigrate, accuse, imply, disparage, or in any other way define a person. They perpetrate defining behavior without examples, evidence, or facts. Verbal abuse is a lie told to you, or about someone else. It is most insidious when the accusations are perpetrated through implication. Here is an example of how insidious and evil implication can be. Jill is home with 3 children under 6 years of age. The twin girls are 2 years old. The oldest, a boy, is 5. She is exhausted by the time her husband gets home from work, but she makes sure dinner is ready. Her husband Jack walks in, looks around, and sees a toy on the kitchen floor. He looks at the toy and says, "Look at this. I worked all day. It must be nice to have time for a nap." Jill is shocked. She tries to defend herself against the implication that she doesn't work. "I don't have time for naps. I was taking care of the kids, the house, the meals, the laundry, and grocery shopping," she says evenly. Jack sighs and rolls his eyes, picks up his 5-year-old son.